Great afternoon, great morning, great evening. Whenever this video finds you, it'll be great either way. But when you have an opportunity, I want you to read Luke chapter 3, somewhere around verse 18 to verse 22, and then read Luke chapter 4, read verse 1 through somewhere around verse 20. And here's what you're going to find. You're going to find that in Luke chapter 3, God validates Jesus and he says, "This is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased." Then you'll see at the beginning of Luke chapter 4, he's driven into the wilderness because of the validation. He's driven into the wilderness to be challenged, opportunity to practice walking in victory. So through the challenges, he conquers all of the challenges that the enemy brings to him. And then something interesting happens around chapter 4, verse 18. It says he went to the synagogue, which was his practice. They delivered to him the Bible. He read the book of Isaiah, where it had this. It says, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to preach the gospel." So when you go through that, you'll find that when he opens the book and he reads the narrative about himself. In other words, he's been validated by God. He goes through a test, but then he gets into the book where it's written of him, about him. He didn't seek validation from anyone else. He got it from God. He got it from the book. And then he read the evidence of what his assignment was and his value. And it says something very interesting around verse 20. It says he closed the book. Here's why that's important. Right now, some of you are in situations where it may be time to close the book on a job. Maybe time to close the book on a relationship. Maybe time to close the book on a friendship. But at the end of the day, the validation that God has given to you about who you are. And when you check the book to see what's written about you and how valuable you are and how special you are, God says, "I'm such a good shepherd that I'll leave 99 and come after the one." That one may be you. So God says he's validated you. You no longer need the validation of people. He says, go find out what the book says about you. And then once you get that, close the book and sit down. Or as grandma would say, sat down somewhere. So I want to encourage you today. God has already validated you. You don't need man's validation anymore. Maybe it's time to close the book on a job. Maybe it's time to close the book on a friendship. Maybe it's time to close the book on a relationship. Either way, God has validated you. That's all the validation you need. So when you sit down today, close the book and get ready for a great new chapter. Say these words: I will, I can, I have to have victory. Love you so much. Get up, be the champion God created you to be.